Yo, what is going on, you redundant Rotom? Today, playing some games with another Ice Rider build, trying out the Inteleon Ice Rider build to see how this one feels. Once again, I'm borrowing the list. Did not come up with this one myself at all. So shout out to Tony Santos, who placed top 32 with this in the Chill TCG tournament this week. Yeah, haven't had time to really play around with Ice Rider myself, so I've kind of just been borrowing lists from people, which is something I always recommend to do. Like, if you just want to play a new deck, or try a different deck out that you've never played before, just go copy someone's list. That's what I do. I do it all the time. We're doing it today. Thank you, Tony Santos. So yeah, Ice Rider, Calyrex again, just like we did a couple days ago, but this time we're playing it with Inteleon instead of the Cincino build. I'm gonna give this one a shot. So we got the shady dealings to help us find item cards, or trainer cards. My bad, we get to find anything. And then we got the quick shooting Inteleon with the ability to put 2 damage counters on one of our opponent's Pokemon. And then we have the other Inteleon with more shady dealings, but this gets 2 trainer cards this time around. And then our main attacker is that Ice Rider Calyrex, which we set up through attaching for turn, and then also get the Melanie in there to get some more energy water excelled. And the really cool thing about this build is that quick shooting, the ability of the quick shooting one. In the Cincino build, you got the Zigzagoon with the scoop up nets to make up for some damage, to take big knockouts on like tag teams and stuff. But with the quick shooting, it's kind of like a constant damage flow. You can take some really big knockouts because in this build there is a Leon in here. So with Leon, we can do plus 30 damage. So then our max lance is capping out at 280. So most VMAXs have like that 320 HP right now. The big one is the other Calyrex, or if we hit mirror match, I guess. So if we get 2 quick shootings on a Calyrex VMAX, we can then knock it out with a Leon, which is really cool. A really cool play that you can set up. Also, Leon, you can one-hit KO stuff like ADP. And quick shooting allows us to help us do that as well, to get KOs on stuff like ADP as well. So pretty cool to have the quick shooting Inteleon around in here. And then besides that, you know, it is just Ice Rider VMAX. You know, you got the Melanies, like I mentioned, water energy, of course, because we want to be able to attack, and then some researchers as the other draw supporter. And that's pretty much it. I don't think I have too much else to say. A couple paths to the peak in here because we're not super reliant on the rule box Pokemon's abilities. Just one Crobat in here to help us get going if we have a slow start, or maybe to help us out in the mid game. But it can be super nice to have some paths to the peak, especially late game combo with the stamp, or just in the mid game, throw it out there and maybe it'll give our opponent some trouble. So that is it. Inteleon, Ice Rider. Let's get into some games. All right, let's get into it. Going first in this first one. I think we want to be going first. It makes sense to me. Sobble start, and we can get a couple more. Get like down on another Sobble. If I want to give up the boss, I don't really want to give up the boss though. But I wouldn't mind giving up Mew in this matchup. So quick ball Mew, grab a Calyrex V, and I think quick ball the energy here, because, or I could even attach it active, to be honest. But I want to get like another Sobble in play, I think. Then I can retreat it. Maybe I just hold this and maybe get the Crobat next turn. Yeah, maybe I do that. So pass, and then next turn we can go retreat Melanie, and then that gives us a way to move this. I guess now they could go like boss. They could do something weird where they like boss my Calyrex. That means I'm not playing a draw supporter for the turn. So do I really care that much if that happens? I feel like not too much. I might though. Yeah, I might. Well, we'll see what they get here. We'll see what we get there, see what they do. See what they get here, see what they do. Go from there. Marshadow coming down early from my opponent. So they're probably playing, I mean, ooh, 3 evolution incense gone. And an enter. They didn't even attach. I don't know why they wouldn't attach here at least. Maybe they're trying to go for that house. A lot of decks play the Gengar and Mimikyu. Try and go house before your opponent really gets to do anything. And then you get to kind of like just gain tempo or whatever you want to call it. But at least we'd be able to keep calling then and get out some Sobbles onto our bench, and yeah, get some Sobbles out onto the bench and just kind of get that set up. That'd be nice at the very least. I mean, we'll see what my opponent has here. Comes a quick ball, so they're gonna get access to whatever they want. Not the Gengar and Mimikyu like I was suspecting, which once again makes it weird that they didn't just attach before they researched. Maybe they don't have the switch cards, so maybe that's why they're not going into the Gengar and Mimikyu. Okay, so what do we get? No stadiums, no switch on the okay, so we definitely want to KO my opponent's active this turn, so we're gonna go retreat, and then Melanie. We draw, got the Calm for the dude, and then Drizzle. Oh my, also Crobat. Okay, so Drizzle, see what's in the deck. We can get the bucket. We need the bucket. Grab the bucket, play the bucket, grab some energy. Calm away the big Inteleon. Grab ourselves the VMAX. And we're looking like we're in a pretty good spot here now. All of the VMAX. Attach to the VMAX. Quick ball away the boss, and I think level ball as well. Get out double Sobble. We really want to get that Inteleon engine flowing, get up to the Inteleons, but to get there we got to go through the Sobble. So get these out first, and then Max lands. Oh, I guess I have to discard both here. I didn't really think about that, to be honest. So for us to attack next turn, we have to play down Melanie. I probably should have held a well, apparently my opponent thinks that's enough for me to win the game, and you know what, because I wasn't sure if I could attack next turn, I'm fine with that. So let's take that dub. Okay, here we go again, winning the coin flip once again. I think, yeah, going first just seems kind of good, but we have like ended our turn twice now by going like pass, or not pass, but you know what I'm saying, ended our turn twice now going like, or once. We keep calling. No, we didn't keep calling. We had the retreat attack. Never mind. Worked out pretty well that time. Don't listen to me at all. We're up against something with Moltres, it looks like here. So early path wouldn't stink, but it could. I don't think it's going to though. So we're gonna like go like this. Gonna grab a Calyrex bench. I should have checked for the bucket here because the bucket's huge. If I don't have the bucket, then we might be in a little bit of trouble by putting this in play, to be honest. So we're hoping the bucket's in there. If not, we can always keep calling for the, like, if we whiff on the Melanie, I mean, we'll have to evolve Double Drizzle anyways. I mean, we should be in a pretty good spot here. And here comes the Marshadow off the rip. So my opponent has the Stadium bump, so it doesn't really matter too much anyways. And they discarded an Aurora energy, so definitely playing some kind of box type deck, I would assume. Yeah, my opponent's definitely playing some kind of box type deck. What kind of box type deck? Who knows? They're the Auroras. They're playing Moltres, Auroras and Moltres and stuff. Goodbye, Dark Energy. Yeah, curious to see what they're playing. Definitely curious to see what they're playing. There's been quite a few decks like this floating around recently where it's got like the, you know, Moltres is like just kind of a main attacker in the deck because it's easy to set up through its ability. Malamar VMAX. So it's a Malamar VMAX deck here from my opponents. I'm curious to see what this fully entails. I'm sure they play like E-switches to get the energy off the Moltres, get a turn 2 VMAX cooking, start attacking with the VMAX, and kind of go from there. So yeah, very curious to see what this fully entails for my opponent, but super cute deck. I'm interested, very curious to see how it goes. Now this makes me want to like play this deck and see how it functions. Now I want to play some Malamar VMAX. Yeah, here comes that Dire Wings. The E-switch already, like I said, they probably play the E-switch. They do play the E-switch, and Malamar is getting set up pretty quickly here. I'm kind of scared a little bit, to be honest. I'm a little bit scared here. That's a fast Malamar VMAX. Turn 2 looking pretty clean, or not turn 2 yet. They're not there yet. They're looking like they're gonna get there though. All right, Drizzle. Go ahead and search my deck. Get that bucket. All right, very cool. All right, grab the bucket. And then play the bucket. Do water. I could grab the Crobat here. And it probably gives me a pretty good chance of getting the knockout this turn, to be honest. So I think I'm going to go with the Crobat here. Getting this attack could be pretty huge. Also, just chilling and not getting the attack seems fine, though, to be honest. Man, I'm going to go ahead and Crobat anyways. But yeah, I don't know if I need the knockout. I might even just go with, like, Melanie. Huh. I almost don't want to knock out, but I just want to be like set up. Like evolve that, bench that, Melanie here. I always thought it was going out of my hand there for some reason. I was like, all right, why didn't it come out of my hand there? I don't even like feel like I want to take this knockout. Like I could, but then I have to like go through 2 Malamar VMAXs pretty much anyways. So I think just setting up like this is just fine. And then probably just passing over to my opponent, to be honest. Yeah. I mean, maybe getting the Crobat out of the way here right now and drawing like a decent amount of cards, setting up that much, establishing my board that much more is like still fine though, because I mean, they play Path to the Peak, so once that comes out and kind of sticks in play, I don't play Marshadow or anything. I only play my own Path to the Peak, so getting value out of my Crobat now might just be, you know, the best way to go about it anyways. And yeah, here comes that Malamar swing, but like now we're just kind of set up and chilling. I just like, it didn't have to take that swing into the Moltres. It kind of took my time, let them attack first. And they're coming in with the Max Jammer, and we have double research, so we're kind of protected from the Max Jammer this turn. And then we can just look for that Ride of the High King into the Max Lance. So getting rid of my, I would have got rid of the water energy if I was them there, to be honest. I would have got rid of that water energy. Football top deck is nice. Go grab another Sobble. Throw that down. Attach here. Research for 250. I mean, if we get like a bunch of Inteleon stuff set up, and actually we drew pretty well for the Inteleon stuff. We can go ahead and grab the Calm here. Leave the Evolution Incense around because I can use Calm now, so I may as well try and utilize Calm. We can grab that Quick Shooting. We can hit for 250 Quick Shooting, and then Quick Shooting next turn, and then we actually knock this thing out. So I'm going to go ahead and put the pressure on here on my opponent. This is what I was talking about with the Inteleons. You can just kind of start doing stuff, hitting hard. And yeah, 250. They have 40 HP left, which is 2 Quick Shootings. So this one, Quick Shooting knockout. Then we go Level Ball for Drizzle. If they take the Drizzle or Drizzile out of our hand, put it here, get the Evolution Incense that I left in the deck, get that, evolve to the other one, and then yeah, double Quick Shooting knockout. So yeah, pretty good. Pretty good right there. And we'll see. We'll see what my opponent actually has this turn. If we can, if that's enough, I think it should be. I think it'll put us in a really good spot. Double Quick Shooting this thing. Take some prize cards. Yeah, there's a hit. No knockout, though. So double Quick Shooting going to get the knockout here. As long as I didn't prize it, I don't think I did. But then I guess I could always go with a Pierce for the knockout. Or, yeah, Pierce for the knockout seems fine. I guess that's fine if I just went with the Pierce. And then ideally, we also want to use a Melanie this turn. So we'll see what else we're able to draw into, what our top deck is, what we get off the prize cards. I probably just want to make sure I get this knockout. Got rid of one of my switches. Okay. There's a Melanie. So I think we can start with Melanie here. To the... I guess active Calyrex. Okay. Put this. Grab the Evolution Incense. Is it here? Okay, I didn't mess up. Too bad. Grab ourselves the good old Quick Shooting number 2. Evolve it here. And then, yeah, double Quick Shooting. Boom. Boom. Once I get to do it. Boom. Boom. Goodbye. Malamar VMAX. See ya. See you later. What do we get? Another VMAX for the Ice Rider's great. And Energy's kind of irrelevant. Air Balloon can't hurt, right? So I could knock this. Once again, we're in a situation where if we knock this out, it's like fine. I think we could just go ahead and punch it. I think I want to punch it with the fresh Calyrex VMAX here. Which, because they can knock out, if they knock out this, then they can go, like this 180, right? Yeah, they can go boss, knock out Crobat, which I don't want to give them the option. So I'm going to go like this, and like this. And I think we can burn the level balls at this point, because if we get stamped, I'm sure they play reset stamp. I don't want to get reset stamp, so. Yeah, we can go ahead and punch this. And what this allows us to do is we're not going to knock it. Actually, we'll be doing what? 100, 130. So we do 130. So now we can actually Quick Shooting knock this thing out. So now we can go boss, bring up Crobat, or if the Marshadow stays in play, whatever, boss one of those, Quick Shooting knock out the deny. This also gives us, like, if they stamp us here or Marnie us and then attack with that Max Jammer, if they Max Jam us, then all of a sudden we can draw prize cards, which means like they take us down to like a 3-card hand with a stamp, and then they take away our only good card in our hand with the Max Jammer. Then we can be like, okay, Quick Shooting, get 2 random prize cards to work with, and then all of a sudden maybe we're back in the game. They still have to set up this other VMAX first, though, which they haven't done yet. Okay, there it is. So they've done it. They got the VMAX online. But yeah, we're set up in a really good spot to just kind of have options here, basically no matter what. So our opponent still has to work a little bit to... I mean, they have to work a little bit, and they potentially don't stop us from doing anything. We still just get kind of free reign over this game. We can also just go Ride of the High King into the Malamar and then clean up with the Max Lance with one or the other Calyrex here. So we still have a 2-hit KO set up on this Malamar as well if they don't like somehow heal it or something. Here's the Path to the Peak. Removing the Marshadow from play. Smart play from my opponent. Doesn't actually really matter too much, to be honest, because we still have that Max Lance. But I'm bench locked, and I'm sure my opponent is assuming that I don't play... and there's the concede, because they can't retreat their dead, I guess, and that's it. We didn't get to do any of the cool plays at the end there because my opponent didn't even get to attack, so easy dub. All right, here we go, getting into another one. Our opening hand is atrocious. We're getting rid of double VMAX and Inteleons. We have to keep calling a start, which is good, but I need a top deck at comp to preserve one of these VMAX, I think, for sure, unless we're trying to solo VMAX this game, which I don't think I'm trying to do. I don't actively want to do that, but I guess that's what we're forced into. I mean, sometimes you're just kind of forced into stuff you don't want to be forced into, and you just gotta kind of deal with it in the Pokemon. Yeah, Calm top deck, because it's a 4-3 line of the VMAX here. So if we have the other VMAX in the deck, it's not that bad. We don't really need the Shady Dealings and Inteleons. They're like okay to have in the game. We're gonna have a tough time with only yeah, with only one VMAX to work with. That's what's gonna be tough here. We'll see though. We'll see. Maybe we can draw well enough to pull it together. Not a Calm, is a Sobble, which we were going to keep calling for anyway, so that kind of stinks. Goodbye, VMAXs. Can we get a V? We got the V at the very least and another Sobble, so keep calling, getting very low value here. And actually, maybe I should have even planned for keep calling, to be honest, because right now I don't have a Melanie, so I could have just like attached here instead, and then attached here next turn, but then I would have had the option of research. So maybe I should have just discarded this energy and be like, okay, I'll just draw into Sobbles. We already had the second one off the top, so keep calling wasn't going to get that much value anyways. And then you see here we draw into another one off the research. So I probably should have just held the energy back, put one in the discard pile, which sets it up for Melanie. And then just plan to find a Calyrex V and then attach to that. That would have been like fine, I think. We didn't have to be too aggressive here at all. I think I was a little bit too aggressive here in the end. And we're probably going to get punished for this. We'll see how this one goes. And then, of course, like I said, losing the double VMAX. I don't really concern myself too much with the Inteleons. They're great to have, of course. They're great to have. So we prefer not to lose them, but if we do lose them like we did, it's not the end of the world, I don't feel like. So it looks like my opponent has they're switched to the Zigzagoon, which is weird. I guess their hand is dead. And they're going actually for a boss play, so they have a super slow turn here from my opponent. Super slow turn from my opponent, actually. They don't have a whole ton going on themselves, so this is actually really good for us. This gives us a chance to get some stuff together here, because like I said, we're in a kind of a rough spot off that initial discard. That initial discard was not great, but if my opponent also has a really rough start, that is a good thing for us. Like that. Switch back into this one so I can pivot out of it, and then go ahead and play this research. Draw some cards, got some Drizziles, chilling. Go like this. I guess get some stuff in the hand for the next turn. My opponent once again didn't do anything, so I can actually grab a Path to the Peak to completely shut my opponent down potentially on the following turn. So I think I should get the Path. Use this one because I want to be able to evolve these to the Inteleons as soon, not the Inteleons, the Inteleons, yeah, as soon as possible. So yeah, Inteleon. Melanie needs to get a lot of energy in play in this one, especially if we're gonna be using 2 Vs potentially throughout this game. I think we're just gonna go. I don't think I want to use this one yet, though. Actually, I kind of regret taking that. I'll quick ball away the Mew, thin that out. Grab a Calyrex V, Path to the Peak, keep calling for nothing. Yeah, I'll keep these 2 open for options so I can evolve 2 of them to the Inteleons. We only have 2 Inteleons in the deck, so we can draw into both Inteleons, which would be pretty fortunate, to be honest, to be able to draw into both Inteleons. We have to get a little bit lucky. Hopefully the Path to the Peak slows them down. No Moltres, no Weavile, no Eternatus VMAX. So even if they get the VMAX out, they don't have Spences for another Crobat. Now they did boss last turn, so they could still have a draw supporter off this draw from the Dark Asset. In my head, I was thinking, well, they can't have a draw supporter. They didn't play one. They would have played one, but they could still have one, actually. So they could still have a draw supporter here. And yeah, there's the research. But still, shutting down the VMAX is a pretty big deal. They actually play Cheryl, so they're healing their VMAXs. That's actually really scary for us. The fact that they can heal their Eternatus VMAXs. And they combo that with Weavile, so they actually don't lose any energy in play. Or that's like the idea. Sad face, though, so it looks like no VMAX, no energy. That's good for us. I'll tell you that much. That's really good for us. And here comes a Power Excel to punch my Sobble. So a little bit rude, but we'll survive. And yeah, we're doing okay now. And we can actually KO this turn. This Eternatus, which would be a huge knockout because then they can't get into the VMAX on the following turn. So despite our unfortunate start, and I can actually Leon knockout. No, I already used a supporter. I can't do that. I can't Leon knockout. Don't mind me. Let's go ahead and grab the Calm here. Once again, trying to leave around the what's called for as long as possible. Grab a Calm here. Maybe we will be able to make this work with just the 1 VMAX. Kind of crazy if we can make it work with just the 1 VMAX. My opponent has this slow start, which we're taking full advantage of here as we knock out their only Eternatus V in play. Get ourselves a couple prize cards to work with. And quick ball and well, quick ball. So we don't really have much going on in our hand. We are just an energy attachment away though from being able to knock out this Moltres, so that's good. Yeah, the Path to the Peak killing it so far. I mean, I guess it didn't really make too big of a difference the more I'm thinking about it, because they didn't have a VMAX anyways to like open up their bench to play a Crobat. Maybe this turn is where the Path to the Peak carries us, though. Switch to the Zigzagoon. That is a great sign for us. That means they're probably still dead drawing. Here comes in a Eternatus V. We'll see that hit the bench and maybe a Marnie to go with it. No, nothing else to go with it. Top deck a Water Energy. I don't want to not take this knockout, but I kind of don't want to take this knockout, to be honest. But I do want the card that comes with taking the knockout here. Quick ball away that. Just going to grab the other Calyrex V. Increase our top deck odds by 1. I don't want to take the Crobat out of the deck, though, because if they like bump the Stadium VMAX and then Marnie me, I could draw into it. So I don't want to do that. I mean, all right, I'll just swing. I was like, I don't really want to just swing here, but I don't know. Nothing seems better than it. Okay, there's a Calm. That's great. That'll get us another Drizzile. We can get a Melanie, put some energy on this Calyrex, start drawing some cards. That's perfect. That's exactly what we want to see. Need to set up these Calyrex, and these things take 3 energy. This is not the VMAX we're going to. These things take a lot of energy. VMAX from my opponent. Can they finally find a Chaotic Swell? And this is why you got to play like 3 to 4 Chaotic Swell in Eternatus right now. Not this matchup. Path to the Peak. It's so hard to deal with Path to the Peak. You gotta play a lot of swells. If you guys are trying to rock, what's it called right now? Put some swells in your deck. Put some swells in your deck. Do it. Okay, so we can't get the knockout. We can get the hit. Hold up. Let me just get rid of this. We can knock this thing out. We can knock out their active. Need this guy though, because we need to go with a Melanie here, unfortunately. And this is where we would like to have the other Inteleons, to be honest. Like the way our board is developed with 4 Drizzile in play, like we'd like to have the other Inteleons, but kind of don't. So okay, do that. Play this, although I don't think I can get anything. Yeah, so just send that out of the deck. This away. Grab ourselves the Inteleon. Now we're gonna hit for 150, 160. So they can't actually attack with the Moltres again. So I kind of want to go with maybe just like a quick shooting here. And then just go ahead and hit with Ride of the High King. Or maybe I should just discard my energy. Well, I don't want to really open up a bench space for them as well. Although it doesn't matter too much, I don't think, here, because they are bench locked because I have their ability shut off. But I almost don't want to knock it out, so that way I could like knock it out next turn and draw 2 cards. Like if I drew 2 prize cards now and they Marnied me, I wouldn't have those cards. So maybe I should have actually gone with the quick shooting here, to be honest, because I should have quick shooting here instead. That might have been the play, to be honest. But I should do it there. See how it goes. I don't love it. I don't love it, though. I think I probably should have quick shooting here instead of the Eternatus. So that way I'm just like 1 quick shooting away from knocking this thing out. And this thing can't... I mean, it could attack, but then it knocks itself out. So I wouldn't recommend that it attacks. But I don't know. My opponent could have other ideas of what they want to do. And sure, I guess if they really want to knock themselves out, go for it. Knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. Knock yourself out. Sure. We got the other Inteleon, so now we can take the knockout here, but we don't have to as well. We can just kind of wait. And there's that Chaotic Swell that I was like kind of worried about, but I knew it was going to be coming around eventually. So now we'll see if we can even get this. I mean, I think it might be a little bit tough for us to get the dub now. I also could have stacked damage on this Yveltal possibly, and maybe could have gone for some kind of cheesy play on the Yveltal. Looks like they have prized either their last Crobat or their Weavile. I don't know which one they were looking for here. I'm assuming they're looking for one of the two. So Weavile or Crobat, I think, is definitely prized here, as my opponent gives me the sad face, as they're not happy with something that's not the deck. So it must be the Crobat then, because they got the Weavile. The Weavile's pretty good here, though. They can retreat, use the ability, attack with the Eternatus, knock out my Calyrex VMAX, and then and we're not in a great spot from there, to be honest. I don't even really want to hit this, but I guess if I hit this, I mean, I could hit this, and then I could actually even set up for a Waterfall knockout maybe on the following turn. Yeah, because we do 70, so we do 200, 220. Ping. We could also, like I said, we could ping this and knock this Moltres out. Maybe I should have knocked out the Moltres out when I had the chance, because then they couldn't have made this play with the Weavile. Oh, I should have just knocked out the Moltres last turn, because then they didn't have enough energy. They would have to get second Moltres into play and the Weavile. Okay, well, I messed up. I definitely should have knocked out the Moltres last turn. I definitely should have knocked out the Moltres last turn. All right, throw that down. Melanie to the active. 2-3. Play this. Gonna take a look. 3 water, 1 Melanie. Quick shooting. It'd be up to 260 damage on this. And then it would only have 60 HP remaining. But 220. We can actually ping out the Moltres this turn. Which I should have just KO'd the Moltres the last turn, to be honest. I didn't even like really make the connection that, well, they can't attack if they don't have the energy in play. So there's what? Maybe, huh? I mean, there's boss. But it doesn't win us the game though if they just boss KO my Calyrex. But they need more Pokemon and they don't have Crobat. So maybe they can't boss KO my Calyrex here. So throw this path out there. Huh. So now I could theoretically like bench this, switch to this, and actually go with Pierce. Does it even make any sense? Yeah, Pierce for 40. We got this boss off the prize cards now. So if I can go, man, I think I've messed this one up a lot here. I'm not gonna lie. But if they don't Marnie me, I can boss knock something out next turn and win the game. So if they don't Marnie me here, we have boss for game. I should have checked if it was in there, to be honest. I thought about it for a second. I was like, oh, I have one boss in the discard pile, so my other one could be prized. And then I kind of like stopped thinking about it from there. I was like, well, it could be. And then I was like, all right, I'll stop the thought process there. Don't even worry about it. There's a research though, so we hold the boss. Does my opponent play reset stamp now is the question. I'm gonna go ahead and guess no. They got the Weavile, the Moltres, Cheryl, all those kind of shenanigans in here. So I'm gonna go ahead and guess that they do not play the what's it called. And then we will be able to win this turn through the boss. So we got off the prize cards through the Moltres. And we'll be able to get the dub. We'll be able to get the dub here. Definitely didn't play this one perfectly. But you guys know I don't always do that, even though I try. It definitely didn't play this one perfectly, but ends up being a pretty good game in the end. Goodbye, Calyrex. Send up Calyrex. Boss. Knockout. Or Crobat, I guess. It doesn't really matter what we KO here. Go Calyrex. And then let's take a look at take out this Crobat for the game. Here we go. Glacial Lance. Another VMAX would have been nice, but apparently it's not necessary in this one. Get the dub over the Eternatus VMAX. And I think I like this Encino build a little bit better after now playing some games with this build, but I don't dislike this build. I just like this Encino build a little bit better, but this build is still pretty cool. So definitely recommend you guys try this one out as well. And yeah, that'll do it, guys. I'll see you tomorrow.